Australia's perseverance in the Melbourne Test has set them on the verge of reclaiming the Border-Gavaskar Trophy and with it a likely spot in the World Test Championship final. Meanwhile, India will remember this test as a series of mistakes and missed opportunities. A match that Indian cricket fans won't forget for a very long time. This test had it all: drama, theatrical moments, iconic performances, disappointments, resilience, and pure raw emotion. Let's break them down. The lead up to this game was dominated by discussions of Ashwin's retirement and speculation over the future of other senior Indian players. But it didn't take long for someone else to steal the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Yes, I'm talking about Virat Kohli. The Australians had introduced Sam Constance to tackle the threat of Jasprit Bumrah, and boy, did Constance deliver. Not only did he take on Bumrah with reverse scoops and ram shots, but he also got under the skin of Kohli, who in a moment of frustration quite literally and figuratively went out of his way to shoulder the young Aussie. Kohli's behavior was uncharacteristic, but as I tweeted, he couldn't resist the new kid on the block having 15 minutes of fame without creating unnecessary drama. I guess when you're so used to being in the limelight with the bat, but you can't help nicking everything outside the off stump, you do whatever it takes to keep yourself in the headlines. Though Kohli faced a penalty for his actions, a mere 20% match fee deduction felt like little more than a slap on the wrist, far from the punishment his behavior deserved. From that point onward, India lost its way. Despite moments of fight, it was Constance who laid the foundation for an Australian revival, one that helped Usman Khawaja score his first 50 of the series. What stood out for me was Khwaja's demeanor when Constance's blockbuster was unfolding. He didn't ask Constance to slow down or change his approach. Instead, he simply stood at the other end smiling and letting Sam do his thing. This was quite unlike what we might expect from a senior player, especially when you think about senior players from the subcontinent. Constance and Khawaja laid the foundation, alleviating pressure on the Australians, and the middle order capitalized. The Aussie top three delivered solid 50s, Stephen Smith made a magnificent 100, and the lower order chipped in with crucial cameos, all contributing to a daunting first inning total for Australia. Facing such a target, India had a massive task ahead. Predictions were grim, with many fans and pundits writing off India's chances. Rohit Sharma was promoted to open, but yet again he threw away his wicket, this time to Pat Cummins. Meanwhile, KL Rahul, India's most consistent opener, was shifted to number 3 in place of Shubman Gill. Rahul looked solid before Cummins sent him packing with an unplayable delivery. And then comes Virat Kohli, who was expected to produce another one of his match-winning knocks, but this wasn't Pakistan, and Kohli fell cheaply once again, having been outwitted by a familiar trap. Kohli's dismissal came shortly after him and Yashasvi Jaiswal had stitched a 100-run partnership and were looking promising. A mix-up between the two led to Jaiswal's unfortunate run out for 82, an avoidable mistake that once again halted India's momentum. Yes, it was a tight single, but given the form Jaiswal was in, I would say it was Kohli's mishap, and he could have sacrificed his wicket, but that's up for debate. This was a pivotal moment. Had India managed to keep the partnership intact, they would have been in a better position to chase down Australia's first innings total, especially as the pitch remained good for batting. But the loss of wickets continued to pile up, and soon India was staring down the barrel of a follow-on. That's when Nitish Kumar Reddy emerged as India's unlikely hero. Together with Washington Sundar, Reddy built a crucial 100-run partnership. The highlight for me was the number of deliveries the two consumed, almost 300 of them, in which Sundar scored his 50 and Reddy scored a historic 100 at the MCG, becoming the first Indian player to score a century against Australia at the iconic venue. This shows that a preferred number to bat on is a privilege and not a necessity. It was a dream century for any youngster, and the story of his father's sacrifices were clearly visible through his emotions as his son was nearing his 100, with wickets falling on the other end, and the tears of joy after his son got to his 100 showing his gratitude. His achievement was a ray of hope for India when all seemed lost. But in cricket, hope can be fleeting. While Reddy and Sundar fought hard, Pat Cummins and his men were relentless, ensuring India never got close to Australia's first innings total. They capitalized on every mistake, and despite India's spirited resistance, the gap was too wide to close. Indians looked differently in the second innings. Their body language had changed. Kohli was animated and energized, and as per usual, Bumrah led and bowled a crucial spell to break Khan's stand, showing why he is the leading wicket taker by a margin in the ongoing Border-Gavaskar Trophy. But despite the intent, the lack of support from the other end allowed Australia to continue scoring. With Marnus Labuschagne's gritty 70 and none other than Pat Cummins stood like a Great Wall of China, partnering first with Labuschagne, then with Nathan Lyon, ensuring that Aussies posted a substantial total. I cannot forget Scott Boland too, who showed admirable resilience, contributing valuable runs, playing almost 70-odd balls for his 15. One can argue the Boxing Day test between India and Australia and Pakistan and South Africa featured brilliant batting and resilience by lower order batters. For India, there were drop chances, no ball wickets, and a lack of spin options contributing to their suffering, and a target of 340 on a last day was set for India to get an unassailable lead. Rohit Sharma's disappointing form continued, and with Cummins' double strike of Rohit and then KL Rahul, it was clear India was playing for a draw. Kohli briefly showed signs of form but fell just before lunch. Rishabh Pant and Yashasvi Jaiswal fought hard, keeping the wickets intact in the second session, but once again, Pat Cummins' persistence and unwavering desire to win proved to be the obstacle. Both Pant and Jaiswal got out in ways that will likely be remembered and criticized for a long time. Pat Cummins brought in Travis Head, and Pant, despite fielders placed in that position specifically for that shot, let his ego get in the way and get the better of him and of Sunil Gavaskar, and gave away his wicket. Jaiswal, the last hope for India, was playing brilliantly under immense pressure, putting up with constants, and the entire Australian team chirping not so lovely comments in his ear, fell victim to a contentious third umpire decision, with Snicko technology not showing anything. There was deflection, and the third umpire ruling makes sense, but for the fans with emotions high, it was not easy to accept. This is one of the conundrums which make cricket a difficult sport to follow, and probably one of the contributing factors in limiting its growth worldwide. But that's for another video. Ultimately, India's collapse came quickly, and what had seemed like a potential draw was snatched away by Australia's persistence. The Aussies absolutely deserved their victory, both for their skill and resilience. They had made tactical adjustments, such as bringing in Sam Constance in place of Nathan McSweeney, and the impact was immediate. Players who played around Constance and after him cashed in on his innings. They were cornered for a bit when Nitish Kumar Reddy posted a mammoth 100, but never looked to go on back foot. Their leader, Pat Cummins, looked like he always had a plan and made sure he utilized all his resources. Australia's aggressive approach and unwavering belief in their plan ensured they went into the new year with a lead in the Border-Gavaskar Trophy and positioned themselves on the brink of World Test Championship qualification. For India, the concerns are glaring, absolutely crystal clear. The lack of support for Bumrah, the unnecessary shuffling of KL Rahul, the underperformance of key players like Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, over-reliance on all-rounders instead of specialists, all proved costly. Perhaps those who have been benched so far deserve an opportunity to make a comeback in the final test of the series. Until then, I just wanted to thank everyone for all the support this year, and I wish everyone a very happy new year. I will see you in my next video. Take care.